the big achievement on renewables in Victoria has been the creation of the Victorian renewable energy target. And so that's really the main thing that's driving all of the development of new wind and solar farms across the state. So, I think we probably need to recheck our numbers, but already we've seen, several wind farms finally get the go-ahead after years of delay, which is creating lots of jobs and, bringing investment to regional areas. So this policy, if you look at the numbers, it's predicted to create something like 10,000 jobs over the next decade. It's going to cut emissions in the electricity sector by 16%, which is really important now that, the hopes of a national energy policy under this current federal government is basically zero. So the state renewable energy targets like Victoria's, which is the only renewable energy policy in the country written into law beyond 2020, has become much, much greater. Yeah. Aside from that, we've also seen this most recent proposal for the solar power plan that Dan Andrews has announced on the weekend to give more than 500,000 people solar power, and that's part of that renewable energy target. And so, the Andrews government is putting quite a lot on the table when it comes to renewable energy. But we haven't seen the opposition really offer anything at all. All we know is that the Guy opposition wants to get rid of the state renewable energy target, even though we know it's going to put downward pressure on power prices, it's going to create jobs, it's reining in emissions. And they've kind of been relying on the Turnbull government to come up with some sort of federal energy policy that they can just point to and say, that's our policy. But it's all fallen apart. So what is Matthew Guy's plan to create 10,000 jobs in renewables? What is Matthew Guy's plan to use renewable energy to cut emissions in the electricity sector? What's his plan to put more than 500,000 rooftop solar systems on people's homes across the state, creating, a whole new sort of rekindling that industry here in Victoria? What are his policies? Because scrapping the renewable energy target is probably the worst possible thing that you could do for the energy system right now.
Well, it's just trying to stop the momentum. It'll just that momentum is too hard to stop.
To approach things apolitically, advocate for your issues with passion. Ask your politicians if they're going to deliver what you want. If you want them to deliver more renewable energy, ask them what they're going to do. Get involved. If people want to, I'm probably going to come back to Geelong in another week and maybe bring a few people together to have a chat about what we can do to defend renewables at the election. So get involved with local advocacy is a great idea. And when it comes to voting, we have a preferential voting system. So, you don't have only one choice when it comes to voting. You can allocate your preferences. But I'll stop short of recommending any particular party. But either way, there's a lot to do. If you vote for Liberals and you care about renewables, call your local Liberal MP because they need to hear from you. If you're a Labor voter, if you're a Greens voter, call your local MP.
For green, clean, sustainable Geelong. The Sustainable Hour.